The Devils are back from their 5-day bye week. They'll be back to kick off the second half of the 2017-18 season with their final 41 games when they host the Flyers on Saturday, beginning a long stretch of important divisional games for them, heading into the second half where they'll look to stay in the playoff race and really kind of fortify what they've done through 41 games. The biggest thing for them will be to get off the 5-game losing streak that they held going into the bye. Certainly not the way they wanted to end their first half, but something they'll have to deal with as they begin play against the Flyers on Saturday. But first things first, if they're going to compete for a playoff spot and hold on to what they've done in the first half and build off of it, they're going to need a few players to really step up and be the key. Guys that have already done so and guys that need to do a little bit more. We'll start with the obvious. Taylor Hall has played out of his mind all year long, leading the team with 42 points over 39 games. He has been the fire that's made the Devils go early this season, and they need him to keep playing at the level he's been playing at to keep them competitive and give them the identity that they need. Another obvious guy is Cory Schneider. He played very well in the first half, establishing that bounce back after a year ago when he had a disappointing down year, but he certainly looked more like the stable goalie that the Devils need and are used to back between the pipes, and he's played like the guy that they can rely on game in and game out. He had a little bit of a rough stretch with the entire team going in the final 5-game losing streak going into the bye, but he still played well. He kept the Devils in games, and he'll need to do so again in the second half, and look for him to be able to continue to do that. One more guy that you might look for a little bit more from, we'll go on the defensive end. We'll go with Sami Vatanen. Obviously, he had a tough transition coming over from Anaheim, having to adjust mid-year after the trade for Adam Henrique back in November. But now that he's been here for about a month and a half in New Jersey, expect for him to come back with a little bit more fire, a little more consistency. He said he even had a bad few games going into the bye. But he's a great player. He's a great defenseman, a great two-way defenseman, and you'd expect for him to be more and more comfortable as time goes on, and expect for him to have more of an impact down the stretch and be an important player for the Devils.